Hey, what's going on, everyone? Welcome back to my corner. I'm Nadeem as always, and today we have another one from Nate the Lawyer. Because this is a bad look for Dems, and it's a bad look for hate crimes in America. In fact, this opening clip we're about to see reminds me a lot of another incident that happened, which
it doesn't matter what my policies are. They're coming after my race, my religion, my nationality, which is American. But, you know, I've been called Indian, Pakistani, so many different things that are not even accurate. But our goal is to respond back with love.
That was Taral Patel on The Factor last year when he claimed he was a victim of racism in the political race for county commissioner.
A few moments later.
He is accused of creating a fake social media account to post racist comments directed at himself.
This former Biden White House aide is being charged with impersonating a Trump supporter and committing fake hate crimes against himself. You can't make this stuff up.
This is wild. Just like in general, that So, I want to preface this by commenting and bringing up the other story that this reminds me of. This is who this reminds me of. Anyone else remember Jussie Smollet, whatever his name is? Anyone else remember this? Because I do. He faked hate crimes against himself, almost got some innocent people thrown in jail for it, was found to have done it himself, and then was found guilty on 5 of the 6 charges. This is what this reminds me of. This was the first thing I thought of when I heard this. Wild. Crazy.
This is Taral Patel. He's a Democratic candidate for a local Texas county. Now, this Democrat has connections that go all the way to the White House. He was appointed by Joe Biden to serve in his administration as a liaison to the White House. He also served as a law clerk for the Department of Justice Criminal Division in the Public Integrity section. And he was appointed as a member of the White House's Asian American, Native Hawaiian, and Pacific Islanders Committee, also known as WHAANHPI. That is a long list of letters. Now, Patel is a Democrat, and he's running in Ruby Red, Texas.
Now, I want to point something out about how bad this looks, right? Biden just announced that he was stepping down a few days ago, that he wasn't running for re-election, and that Kamala Harris was going to be the one running, right? Trump has already started to attack Kamala Harris, despite reports of some kind of change, right? And now you have this Democrat who has close ties to Biden, having been now accused of faking hate crimes against himself. This is only going to serve to bolster Trump supporters and to bolster Trump's rhetoric about how Biden's corrupt and crooked Joe Biden this and crooked Joe Biden that, and now he's going to redirect that towards Kamala and be like, oh look, he stepped down and isn't running for president to try and let Kamala do it because because all this heat's on him, and now they're going to tie it to Kamala, using this, be like, oh look, if this is what his close supporters are doing, imagine what corrupt Harris is doing, and all this other crap. And that's what he's going to run with. I guarantee it.
In a Ruby Red county against a Ruby Red incumbent. Now, Patel is running against Republican and longtime Commissioner Andy Myers. Now, Andy Myers has been on this job for 27 years. Now, during the campaign, Patel had an interesting idea. Now, Patel posted a collage of hateful comments that he says was sent by Myers' MAGA racist Republican supporters. Now, here is what Patel had to say about this madness.
This came after Patel sent out a press release with a collage of supposed racist social media posts that he claimed were directed at him. Meyer told investigators he recognized one of the accounts behind the comments as Antonio Scallywag.
Here is Patel himself talking about the crazy things that have been happening to him online.
A very deeply misguided place of fear that immigrants are coming to take people's jobs or things of that nature. And I try to remind folks is I'm not running against anybody. I'm running for the people, all the people of Precinct 3, whether they like me or not. My goal is to better their lives. But unfortunately, what we hear from a kind of polarized environment is it doesn't matter what my policies are. They're coming after my race, my religion, my nationality, which is American. But, you know, I've been called Indian, Pakistani, so many different things that are not even accurate. But our goal is to respond back with love.
That was Taral Patel on The Factor last year when he claimed he was a victim of racism in the political race for county commissioner.
Now, Andy Myers, being upset that his campaign was being called racist and all of his supporters were being called racist, he decided to beg the DA for Fort Bend County to look into it, to find who these racists were, to stop this attack against Patel.
Which, by the way, is exactly what you should do in this kind of situation. If someone is saying that your fans are going after them, in this kind of context specifically, the context of like very people in power, you know, senators and whatnot, this is what you should do. You should open an investigation because like some of the tweets that this account had posted were really, really bad. So, you know.
Back in October, the DA's office received a request from Precinct 3 Commissioner Andy Meyer to look into who was behind several social media posts directed at his opponent, which is Patel.
So now the DA's...
Yeah, so I just want to focus on this for a moment. Because, like right down here, it says, "Trust me, Andy Myers is a true Christian. Our first commandment orders us to denounce all false gods like the monkey and the elephant." You've got one up here. Was even born here, probably communist. You got one up here. "I am against false gods and their worshippers winning office in Christian nations." Which, by the way, we're not a Christian nation. Just to make that clear. "I am with Myers all the way because he serves Jesus, unlike Patel and his followers who worship monkey and elephant." So
now the DA's office is involved, the Texas Rangers are involved, and we have to fast forward to June 2024. So the DA's office issued subpoenas to Facebook and Google because they wanted to know who the fake account belonged to. So when Google returned the subpoena, they found that the account data matched Patel. His address, his phone number, even his Texas driver's license number and bank card were all there in the account. And obviously some other personal information.
Which, look, if you're going to fake something, you don't tie it to yourself. Okay? Especially something like this. Like, if you are going to do this kind of thing, one, you use a VPN to obfuscate your location, and you activate your VPN before you go to the website, mind you. Two, all the information you put in should be fake information. And three, why are you tying your bank account information to this? Like, that's just that's wild.
Meyer told investigators he recognized one of the accounts behind the comments as Antonio Scallywag. The documents then further detailed how...
Also, Antonio Scallywag? Come on, brother! You just type into Google random name generator and you can get a better name than that. Antonio Scallywag?
They linked that account back to Patel, including getting a subpoena from Facebook and Google. From there, they were able to obtain account and payment information, matching Patel's credit card number, address, phone number, and other personal data.
So police found that, in a shock, it was Patel who was sending fake racist messages about his campaign to himself. So on June 12, 2024, Patel was arrested for impersonating a Trump supporter. This is crazy. A Democrat from the White House was arrested for criminal impersonation of a Trump supporter.
Which, by the way, it was only here briefly, but this is a felony. This is a federal crime. This is insane. And like, here's the thing. This isn't like just they think it was him. No, they have proof. It was linked to his bank account. This is the textbook definition of an open and shut case. This kind of case is what law schools are going to cite as an open and shut case for decades and decades to come. Because, they have his IP address, they have his personal information, they have his bank account information all tied to this. He is fucked. F-U-C-K-E-D, fucked. There's no way he's getting out of this.
Trump supporter. This is crazy. A Democrat from the White House was arrested for criminal impersonation of a Trump supporter.
Commissioner score.
Yeah, police say
this is
Taral Patel created a fake social media account.
By the way, also, I just thought about this. We have to remember that it really isn't that long since the attempted Trump assassination. And now that you have this coming out, I can very easily see Trump and his supporters now using this as proof that the shooter that tried to assassinate Trump was just a plant, and he intentionally made himself look like a Republican to throw off the scent that it was a Biden thing. I can 100% see them doing this, and in a way, this would make sense, right? That this person with this information, this person is obviously a plant. He's obvious because he supported Biden before, and then they got a hold of him and was like, hey, we need you to help us out, so we need you to make yourself look like a Trump supporter, and then go try to assassinate him. It's wild that anyone would think this, but I could see people thinking this and be like, yeah, this makes sense.
Then used it to make racist attacks against himself. He's facing a felony count of online impersonation.
And by the way, this guy, Patel, 100% needs to be locked up and thrown in jail. This is wild that he does. This is a federal crime. He 100% deserves to be locked up and thrown in jail forever.
In newly obtained court documents, authorities allege Patel stole a Needville man's photo, used it to set up his fake Facebook persona for...
Oh, that's even worse. That's even worse.
For a man he called Antonio Scallywag. And according to documents, the scheme was uncovered after Patel sent out a press release highlighting racist attacks targeting him and his campaign.
And the funniest thing is he probably would have been able to continue leveraging this in his political campaign if he had just shut the fuck up and not said anything. If he had this is another case of criminals snitching on themselves. If he had just shut the fuck up and not said anything, he would have been able to continue leveraging this kind of rhetoric, and I'm sure there might have been some people that didn't like him or whatever, right? But like, if he had just shut up about this and not said anything, not made this press release, he could have continued to leverage this for his own ends, for his own political campaign. But now that he snitched on himself, he's fucked, and now he's going to go to federal prison.
Of course, now police believe some of those attacks were fabricated by Patel himself.
Now, Patel was actually charged with a third-degree felony charge for online impersonation of a Trump supporter, a Class A misdemeanor for impersonation.
Which is important to know. I'm glad that Nate is making this distinction. It is of a Trump supporter. It's not like he was just impersonating someone else. No, he stole a photo and then impersonated a Trump supporter. Like, this is fucking crazy.
Of someone's identity, which is illegal in the state of Texas. Now,
And by the way, identity theft should be illegal everywhere, and I'm pretty sure it is.
District Attorney's Office in Texas said this was the first time their agency had ever charged someone with this election-related misdemeanor.
Patel now.
This is bad. It just keeps getting worse and worse and worse for Democrats. Because now, not only do they have all this stuff against Democrats, now they're like, oh, and look, it's so bad that this is the first time they've ever charged anyone with this statute, and they charged it to a Democrat. It just keeps getting worse.
Now faces a third-degree felony of online impersonation and Class A misdemeanor for misrepresentation of identity. The DJ's office tells us this is the first time that they've charged.
Misrepresentation, by the way, is a fucking understatement. This dude stole someone else's picture, created an entire profile, an entire personality using that picture, and then use that profile to impersonate a Trump supporter. And by the way, the reason he did it was because he knew the political hatred towards Trump would get him sympathizers. Okay, so this was an intentional targeted act against Trump and Trump supporters to make it seem like Trump supporters were being this racist, bigoted stereotype that is targeting him because of his race and his ethnicity, right? This was all intentional on his part. All of this was calculated by Patel. He knew what he was doing.
Someone with that specific election-related misdemeanor.
He is charged with online impersonation, a felony.
And by the way, I want to get a picture of this because I want y'all to just see a side-by-side comparison of this man, of his mugshot, and just a moment before, right?
Tells us this is the first time that they've charged someone with that specific election-related.
This one, right? Oh, look how cute! He's petting a kitty. He's got a cute little Santa hat on. Oh my God! Look how cute he is! Look how cute this monster is. This is the face of a monster. This is the face of an elected official. Like, I've been extremely hard on Republicans. I'll admit that I've had several videos where I lambast Republicans like Cruz, right? I also agree with them on some points, yes, but I blast them. Here is an example of me blasting Democrats for the fucked up behavior. Like, all the shit I've blasted Republicans for, like, it's some wild takes, right? Like, wanting to remove emergency exits and windows, right, from schools. Wanting to basically turn them into fucking jails, right? Like, that's some wild shit. But here we have someone literally breaking federal and state law. And he is an elected fucking official in Texas. Like, this is wild.
misdemeanor.
He is charged with online impersonation, a felony, and a misdemeanor charge of
And by the way, this just goes to show you that you really can't trust someone just because they put out a good image, right? Like, you can't trust what this guy is gonna say or do. Like, he's sitting here committing felonies behind your back. Meanwhile, he's telling you that he's being targeted for his race and ethnicity and his beliefs, while, you know, like, it's insane.
representation of identity.
Wild,
Candidate
crazy.
for Precinct 3 Commissioner in Fort Bend County is facing criminal charges.
Taral Patel is charged with a felony online impersonation and a misdemeanor charge, misrepresentation of identity. The Fort Bend.
By the way, I personally think that he should be charged with one count of this felony impersonation for every single tweet he ever put out on that fake account. Because each and every one is him impersonating this person. Every single tweet. He should have a charge for every single tweet he put out.
County DA's office tells us Patel was
100%.
arrested yesterday after a ranger executed a search.
Basically what I'm saying is he should be thrown in jail for so many consecutive life sentences that no matter how good he acts, he will never be released. He could have immortality and he would never be released. That's how many consecutive life sentences he should have.
Warrant in connection to a complaint.
Now, Patel's bond was set at $20,000 for the felony.
That's fucking wild! Okay, no. I want to put this into some context. So, this is ATX bond release. This is in Austin, Texas, bail bonds. And this right here talks about possession of marijuana, right? So it says that the bail bond amount can range from $100 to $500, depending on $100 to $500. Depending on the amount of marijuana, this charge could also go up to a second-degree felony, or a charge in between. So potentially a third-degree felony, right? The same thing that this guy's being charged with, right? Because this charge isn't considered to be morally bad and there's no victim, the second-degree felony bail bond amount will be closer to $15,000. Okay, so we have a second-degree felony bail in Texas where it isn't considered morally bad and there is no victim. And the bail bond is $15,000. Okay. Meanwhile, and that's just like average, right? Meanwhile, we have a Texas fucking a Texas person or senator. Sorry, we have a Texas senator, Patel, who committed a third-degree felony by stealing someone's photo and making an impersonation of a Trump supporter during a high stakes election, an election year which is going to be even more important than the last cycle, right? Impersonating a Trump supporter to spread online hate crimes against himself, right? Where there is a victim, it is considered to be morally wrong, and their bail bond for the felony charge is $20,000. Second degree felony, not morally bad, no victim, $15,000. Literally a victim, literally morally bad, literally identity theft, done by a senator or congressman or what the fuck ever, right? Someone who is in a position of power, right? Committing hate crimes against himself and claiming that it is someone else and claiming that it is a Trump supporter, right? Someone who, Trump, who is running for re-election, right? $20,000. This is fucking retarded. This is stupid. This is insane. The minimum that Patel should have gotten, first off, he shouldn't have been, a bond shouldn't have even been fucking, possible. Okay. There should be no possibility of parole, or of a bond, or of getting out early. Okay, he should be in jail for life. Let's just make that clear. Okay. Secondly, if he is going to have a fucking bond, first off, let's look up what this motherfucker's net worth is, shall we? Okay, I can't find his net worth, and I can't find out how much he actually makes. However, given his extensive record as in politics and whatnot, I guarantee you he probably has at least a couple $1 million, right? So, crimes like this are... How's the best way to put this? These crimes don't happen with ordinary people, right? You're not going to see Joe Schmo out here. Well, I guess maybe you will with the one black guy that did it. But generally speaking, these kind of things aren't just random, right? And these are exceedingly serious crimes, especially with the whole context that we have. So his minimum bond, honestly speaking, should be at least $1 million. At least. And this goes, honestly, for anyone committing this kind of crime. Because this is insane that the bail is only $20,000. He probably makes $20,000 fucking wiping his ass, okay?
And $2,500 for the misdemeanors. He bonded out and is free on bail.
We are told that Patel did bond out of the jail.
Of course, because he's rich. So he's not actually going to be punished. This is why Americans are losing faith in not just the judicial system, but in the government as a whole. These extremely powerful people who are very clearly guilty of federal crimes, of felonies, are just walking free because they have money. No one is actually being criminally prosecuted and forced to serve jail time. So what the fuck are we doing with our votes? Why are we voting when it doesn't fucking matter? When these laws only actually serve to punish the everyday American? Why should we fucking care about these people? Why should we go out and vote? Why should we, quote unquote, make our voice heard? There's no point. There's no point in trusting the legal process. There's no point in trusting officers. In fact, I'm going to point this out real quick because this is another reason why people just straight up don't trust the fucking legal system. This one right here, okay? I'm not going to play the video. I'm just going to bring it up. Okay, this is also by Nate the Lawyer. And this is covering Sonia Massey, who was shot in the head and executed by cops. When she answered her door, you know what she said? She didn't say, hey, thanks for coming. No, she said, please don't hurt me, please don't hurt me, please don't hurt me. Why? Because they can't trust the cops. Because there's too many incidents where these cops come to their house and kill them. Or just kill them in broad daylight and nothing fucking happens. It's the same for the police, it's the same for Congress, it's the same for the Senate, it's the same for the goddamn president. All of them are just above the fucking law because they're rich. None of them are forced to actually suffer consequences. So what the fuck is the point? Why should I trust that our judges and that our legal system are going to do a goddamn thing to actually serve the public interest when you have shit like this happen? He is a felon. He has broken federal law by impersonating someone and committing hate crimes. And saying that it was this person that was doing it after stealing someone else's photo. Like, this is why.
Here early this morning. His next court appearance is on July 22nd.
So what do we have here? Well, we have a Southern Democrat, Patel, pulling a Jussie Smollet. Can you...
Thank you! Thank you! Oh my god, I'm so glad he made this comparison. Thank you, Nate. This is the exact same fucking situation. The exact same fucking situation. And you know the only difference? The only difference between these two situations is Patel is rich. That's the only fucking difference. They're both minorities, they both faked hate crimes against themselves, and they both blamed it on someone else. And the only difference is that Patel is rich. So he gets off with a fucking, like, $27,500 fine. And a price of doing business in America.
I believe somebody in this day and age is actually pulling a Jussie?
We gotta go get this Empire Yeah, that's him. That's him. Is that him?
That's that nigga.
That's that nigga.
Get that nigga.
Oh, he's moving fast. Come on, let's get him.
Get that nigga.
My name ain't Empire. And I didn't answer. I kept walking, and then I heard...
By the way, this motherfucker should also be in jail for life.
Empire. So I turned around and I said, did you just say to me? And I see the attacker masked. And he said, this MAGA country punches me right in the face.
Now, Patel, just like Jussie, found out the hard way that when you claim racism happens and people are harassing you in this way, the government actually takes it seriously.
Except they don't. He's out on bond. He's walking free as a felon. He suffered no consequence except for a $27,500 fucking fine.
They actually investigate. And if they find that it's you doing it to yourself, you're going to be charged, probably convicted, and embarrassed.
Meanwhile, we are hearing from the county judge's office where
there's literally no accountability. All of this is just a fucking political show. This does nothing. He's still going to be able to run. He's probably going to get elected.
Patel once worked. Judge K.P. George issued a statement late today that says, in part, he's deeply concerned about the arrest and he trusts the matter will be, quote, examined without prejudice.
Now, you may think that's the end of the story, but...
By the way, I just want to bring something up real quick. So this guy, Bob Menendez, okay? They almost got to a point where they were going to vote and expel him. Okay. Because of the corruption conviction. Right? This guy, convicted felon, hate crimes against him, faking hate crimes, stealing someone's identity, impersonating someone, blaming it on Trump and his supporters. No one's brought up that he should be expelled or prevented from being able to hold a seat. No one!
Then Patel was found to have been impersonating a judge in Texas. So...
Dog! And obviously, you know, Nate's just reporting what happened. But if I don't hear that this man is facing life in fucking federal prison with no parole and no bond, full stop, I'm gonna lose my fucking shit.
So a second investigation opened.
Because, like, now you're impersonating a judge? A fucking judge? Bro!
Up into Patel impersonating a judge online. You can't make this stuff up.
The Fort Bend County candidate who was charged last month for allegedly faking racist social...
There was no allegedly. This is why I fucking hate mainstream media. There was no allegedly. He was convicted. He is a convicted felon. He is out on bond. There's no allegedly here.
Social media post against himself is under investigation again for a similar crime.
Yeah, a new search warrant filed by investigators this week claims that he impersonated a district judge on Facebook. In fact, it's the one who was initially assigned to preside over his first case.
That's right. He's impersonating the judge that's presiding over his own case. This guy is pretty sick with it. So I'll keep you updated on the Patel story, but I want to know, what do you think should happen to Patel?
He should be in jail forever. Like, this is the most textbook open and shut case I've ever fucking seen in my life. Like, there is no shot this man deserves anything other than just being in jail forever.
He be locked up? And do you think this is pervasive? Because it seems like people are just faking hate crimes like it's going out of style. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, do all that great YouTube stuff. My name is Nate the Lawyer, and I'll see you on the next one.
So yeah, another great video by Nate. And it's just absolutely insane that this kind of thing can happen, and he could just be out on fucking bond. And then, like, here's the thing, right? He didn't learn. He went and impersonated a judge now. And here's the thing, if you're out on bond, you have to follow normally, you have to follow a very strict guidelines. Like, you have to act very good, and you cannot do any other crimes, because if you do, you immediately go to jail to serve out your entire sentence. Like, your bond is immediately revoked. What happened to Patel? Oh, well, let's see. He paid his bond. Now he's out on bond. A month later, he now impersonates the judge that is presiding over his case, and he's still out walking free. What the fuck? This shouldn't be a thing! Oh my god, like, here's the thing, I want to cover things that aren't necessarily like this. I want to cover things that aren't about the bullshit that's happening in America. Unfortunately, there's just so much fucking retardism in America nowadays, and no one cares. We have people in positions of power committing crimes after crime after crime after crime. Everyone knows about it, and then nothing fucking happens. Meanwhile, you have Joe Blow over here with a fucking goddamn like an ounce of marijuana going to jail for 50 years because he wanted to fucking smoke some marijuana and fucking just be happy in his own fucking house. And people wonder why Americans are losing trust in the fucking judicial system and in the fucking government. Marijuana, despite all of the scientific research that has gone on to prove its potential positive medical applications, and all of the scientific research that has gone on to prove how alcohol has no medical applications and is nothing but terrible for you. Alcohol, still legal. Marijuana, still a federal crime. Why? Because fuck you. That's why. Because the government doesn't fucking care. It only cares about the fucking lobbyists that are lobbying the senators and our congressmen to pass laws that benefit them. And because they're passing the laws, they know exactly how it's going to affect everything, so they directly profit from the stock market they're allowed to trade on. But that's not a crime. That's not insider trading. But what is insider trading is if Joe Blow over here gets a tip from his friend that works at Nvidia that they're about to release this product and they expect their stocks to go up. If you invest in Nvidia before they release that product, now you're insider trading. Like, this shit isn't equal. The way the justice system in America works is if you are rich, you can't be prosecuted. You can't really suffer any consequences. You are immune from consequences from the law because you can just fucking pay your way out. But if you're not rich, fuck you. You're guilty of everything because you aren't rich. You are guilty until proven innocent. While the rich are innocent until proven guilty, and then they'll just pay some money and all of it will go away. Like, oh my god, it's insane that this kind of shit can actually exist in America while people sit there and support these same people who are criminals, who are felons. He has been convicted of a felony. Like, but he's still gonna run. He's probably gonna get elected, and nothing's gonna change. Oh my god. Anyways, thank you all for coming to my corner. I am the DM as always, and I will see you all next time.